408. So let's see, that's going to be, and you get 15% off of that. So 15, 4 times 15, basically going to get another $60 off. So 408 minus 60, we'll call it 61 equals. Basically, you can get all three of these. The total deal here for $347. $347, and you're going to get over 3 carats of genuine, natural, color changed Turkish diaspora, Turkizite, right? That's the name of the stick. It's been known as Zoltanite. If you guys watch any of the other networks, the network that I was at when I started out, probably, almost going on 12, 14, 13 years, something like that, a while back. You might remember Jewelry Treasures with Chris. But we called it Zoltanite then, I believe. It's gone through a couple different names, but it's basically color. The technical term is color change diaspora. Now, just so you're clear, though, relatively durable gemstone as well, too. So when we're talking about like a Mohs hardness scale on this, you're talking about probably a 7 on the Mohs hardness scale. So that's kind of up there. It's right up there with the likes of like Spinel. Well, Spinel's probably closer to an 8, but Tanzanite. So very durable in terms of scratch resistance when we talk about the Mohs hardness scale. So that's got some everyday wearability as well. And each one of these will exhibit a very, very nice color change. So take advantage of that. Now the earrings, again, we're doing them for $169. Those are going to be the least expensive of those. I'm going to give you kind of a countdown because I know the ring we did have enough. I'm pretty satisfied. The pendant, we got 18 of those, so that should be enough to hold. And we do have enough, it looks like, of the earrings to go around as well. So if you wanted to get a couple pairs of the earrings, maybe to gift to somebody, I think this is going to be one that you're going to be very happy that you did, and they're going to be very happy if they hang on to them, because obviously you're going to have some built-in equity because we're so much lower than everybody out there in the marketplace. But I think over time you're going to see that this one has a lot of room for growth, and it's definitely one of those ones that the secret's out on in terms of just in terms of the gem world, right? So very, very beautiful opportunity, all in that 18 karat vermeil. Big disc backs on those, by the way, too. So those are going to stay nice and secure on your ears, and we are going to move. So that's shop 1, the ring, right? Shop 2 on the pendant, and shop 3 on the earrings. If you get them all together, you're going to get an additional 15% off. It's going to be about $347, give or take $3 or $4. Because, like I said, I'm not the best at math, but I kind of did some little general calculating. But within $5 to $10, $347. That's an amazing opportunity. And these are all in precious metal too, mind you. So you got the vermeil. So right, that's going to be 2.5 microns on top of 925 sterling silver. Cool opportunity and a very, very cool and unique cut that you're not going to see in the retail world hardly ever. So that's definitely took a master lapidary. I'm assuming that's going to be some of Tony Denise's folks, because he's really he's had a long history with this gemstone. Again, I said it earlier, he's very bullish on it. So if you're not familiar with Tony Denise, he's a big gem expert. He's based out of Brazil. He does a lot of our shows on the television side of things. He was actually on last night before I was on the TV side of things. And very knowledgeable dude, and very very savvy when it comes to gemstone collecting and things like that. And he's very, very, not just because he's one of the ones that sources or gets, that has connections, but he's very, very bullish on the potential for growth for that, as am I, and a lot of other people that I've talked to in the gemstone world that don't really have any ties whatsoever. But he also has a great cutting team, and he sourced a lot of these gemstones for us, and they have great lapidaries as well. All right, so that said, we're going to move on to shop 4. Excuse me. Shop 4, and that's going to be this guy. So what you have here is kind of a ballerina style mounting, with like a little bit of a twist. Got almost like a bow tie sort of design here, because you do have at the east and west of it, looks like it's going to be, I'm assuming those are going to be moissanite. So you're going to have these moissanite baguettes. So I should mention moissanite. Let's talk about that very quickly, very briefly. Many of you are probably already aware with what moissanite is. This is a lab-created gemstone. It's not inexpensive. I wouldn't say it is kind of expensive out in the retail world when we talk about the larger stones. But what it does is it's going to have a lot of fire, a lot of brilliance, a lot of scintillation and sparkle, which are really all the things that a diamond are known for bringing you, combined with rainbow dispersion, which you can sometimes see in diamonds as well. But only the finest diamonds, and we're not wanting to pay the expensive diamond price. But with these, a little bit of moissanite goes a long way. So that's going to be a lab-created gemstone. But make no mistake, the center stone itself. Did I just bump it? Oh.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Okay, I was like, did I do that? But make no mistake, the center gemstone is going to be genuine, all natural moissanite. So. I like this. I'm liking the little bit of moissanite in this one, but I'm loving the Turkish diaspora, i.e. the Turkizite is what we're now calling it. I think that's the name that's going to stick. Like I said earlier, it's gone through a myriad of different names that it's sort of been called over the years. It's basically color change diaspora. Genuine gemstone. Now this is going to be a carat 10 total weight. You do have AAA quality in terms of that very, very nice pedigree and nice center stone that you're getting there. Nice oval there. This is going to be $269. It's not going to quite be maybe right at. Let's scroll down. I just want to double check. If it's not, it's going to be very, very much within striking distance of a full carat on this one. 91 points, so just shy of a carat. You are getting a 7x5. 7x5 typically, if you're talking about a diamond, 7x5 typically would be about a carat in a diamond. But so you're going to get definitely that carat look. Not quite at that benchmark though. But I like an oval. You do get a lot of bang for your buck. And I like the mounting too, because you got the 3 rounds at the north and the south. And then you've got the baguettes at the east and the west. And this one will also be in the 18 karat vermeil, so you're getting very high quality vermeil as far as that goes. 75% solid gold is 18 karat, right? So 24 karat is going to be like 100% or 99.99. You get the picture. Now, the 269, of course, doesn't stay at 269 because you've got the code LIVE25. You're then going to punch that code in at checkout. This is going to be shop 4. And then you're going to basically get this for around $200, $200 and some change, $201.75. Gets this home. You have budget pay, 0 credit check, 0 interest payments available to anybody out there. All you got to do, and can we flash up the code, not the code, but the number?
Yeah.
The number. I'm going to give you guys a number. If you're new to Shop LC, you can do it on the website. But I think best bet is just to call this line if you're not registered yet. It'll take you literally probably 1 or 2 minutes. They'll just ask your name, email address, your home phone, or your cell phone, whatever, and you'll give them some basic credit card information. All that's going to stay safe and secure here. We're A+ rated, Better Business Bureau, all that good stuff. But here's the number. Everybody should save this number in their phone because occasionally we'll have like a little hiccup or something. You know, when we're dealing with literally tens of thousands of items from lifestyle to home goods and things like that, occasionally there might be a little bit of a hiccup or the Live25 code doesn't work. If that's ever the case, I want you guys to call that number. That's going to be exclusive to the live stream. This is not the number that I give you when I'm on TV or satellite and whatnot. This is a different number, so they're going to know what you're talking about when you're discussing Shop 1 or Shop 2, and you can go ahead and get registered, become a member of the Shop LC family. Super easy. There's no membership fees. We'd love to have you, and I'd be honored if you would join under my watch here so I can take the credit for it and be like, hey, I brought in so-and-so. Now, that being said, friends, the budget pay on this, which is going to be available to everybody once you get registered. And again, that only takes a couple moments of your time. And you, like for example, with this one, or if you're interested in that suite, you call that number. You can always do it that way as well, as opposed to going, putting in the comment section. But you're going to be able to utilize the budget pay once you're registered. Okay, the budget pay on this one is going to get it down to, let's see, 5 will go into 200. It's about $40. So $40 is going to be your budget pay. Put up $40, get your ring home. And then you're going to pay $1.33, something like that, a day for the remaining 4 months. If you can afford $1.33, you can afford that. You're going to get a very, very nice full look on that almost full carat of genuine color change gemstone. So that's going to be shop 4. Shop 4. Now, as we move sort of up and sort of into the middle and then toward the end of the show, what you're going to see is you're going to see the sort of prices go up a little bit because we're going to be talking about a lot of larger stones. What is going on there? Interesting. We're going to be talking about a lot. We're getting a little bit larger in the gemstones. We're also going to have some of these that are going to be in solid gold. So for those of you who want to bypass the vermeil, what I will say about the vermeils, it's definitely a more inexpensive delivery system, and you're still getting good quality stones on those. So if you want to sort of stay within a budget, eventually, if you wanted to, you could put this, and this gemstone is worthy of it, in your 10 or 14 or 18 karat gold solid if you wanted to, or even in platinum if you wanted to. And you can always, if you did want to do that like immediately, and you just liked a certain design that we had in the vermeil, then you can just ask our personal shoppers when you call that number, and they can hook you up with all kinds of different options in terms of mountings if you did want to upgrade it. Now this next one, I'm loving the look on this one. This is the first time I've had the opportunity to sell this one, as well as with the first suite too. But this one's going to give you all natural champagne diamonds. So we got real white diamonds here in this initial halo. You've got a really, really stellar, sort of like a Mercedes-Benz design on this one, with the three-pronged sort of design work going out, which I really, really like that. Kind of breaks up the monotony of the double halo. So you've got a kind of traditional look in terms of the double halo, which we see often in jewelry, which is a kind of classic design. But this one mixes it up definitely with this at the south and this one at the north. I like that a lot. Take a look at this. Now this is on my finger. It's not a gent's ring per se. I'm just going to give you an idea of scale. It's going to give you a real big look. This is a total of carat 50. We do have 2 reviews on this. They are both 5-star reviews. You've also got a gorgeous pear shape. Pear shape, very nice, very feminine, fancy cut there. So I love a pear shape. Our former manager used to really adore pear shape. She was pear shape crazy, and for good reason, because it's just one of the most gorgeous cuts. It's a really excellent way to display a gemstone, and this is a very nice one. I don't know that we had that many. When I was studying the notes this morning, I remember thinking that one we didn't have too terrible. Actually, no, this one we do have a decent amount on. Yeah, we've got about 2 dozen of those to go around. So we do have this one in all of the sizes. If we could scroll down to the bottom, I just want to kind of get an idea on what we have in terms of specifications. Well over a carat on your center stone. So that's going to be an important distinction here. We talk about pricing here. Once you get into the benchmarks, right? So we're talking, in the case of this, we'll use just 1 carat and 2 carat and so on and so forth. You're really going to be bumping up a little bit in price because you are over a certain benchmark when we talk about these very rare and exotic gemstones. So this one's going to be a carat and a quarter minimum, or carat 24 for all intents and purposes, carat and a quarter, right? So not just a full carat. So you do get a nice big 8x6 millimeter on that one. Again, totally high quality, AAA quality in terms of the color saturation, and you will get that really sharp and stark color change. You've also got, and I touched on this in the beginning of the show, but you've also got a gemstone that, unlike alexandrite, the aforementioned, the other color change gemstone, right? The original color change gemstone, the kind of the gold standard when it comes to color change gemstones, like ruby by day, emerald by night. Not quite the ruby color, but sometimes close enough to get good enough description for it. But with alexandrite, a lot more times you're going to see, even with some of the more expensive stuff, you're going to see more of a milky, not as quite as transparent as you are this high quality Turkizite that we're talking about here. So that's one of the things I think that it probably has a leg up on. I mean, granted, the color change chrysoberyl or alexandrite can be. I've sold some very clean ones, super clean. Of course, those are even more expensive. You're talking in the 10 to 20,000 per carat range, depending on the size of the stone. But one of the cool things about Turkizite is the material that we have, the AAA quality in particular, and all of this that we're showing you today is going to have nice clarity to it as well. So it's almost going to act as very much a chameleon gemstone. And if you've ever seen this on the television side of things, and I think my buddy Michelle, who used to be a show host here, she used to do this she would have like a little a whole little, I don't know, 5 or 6 different swaths of different color palettes, like these little just color palettes, and we put the Turkizite ring on top of it. And if the stone's big enough, and with the great clarity, you kind of pull the different colors out, and you'd see how it just sort of almost like a chameleon, you'd almost see it just adapt the colors. And I think a lot of that's due to the really intense and nice clarity that you get with this particular color change gemstone. So that's something I think noteworthy as well. This one, you got 14 points on the champagne diamonds. That's going to be that secondary halo that we're talking about, right? That does give it a nice distinction. Now, these are very, very fine quality and very rare diamonds here that are getting more expensive by the day as well. Obviously, those are more than likely, we talk about a lot, the Argyle mine. This is a Western Australian mine that shuttered down, or they closed it up November 3rd of 2020. Since that closure, what we've seen, and it was responsible for probably the majority of the world's natural color change diamonds that are in circulation. And what we've seen from pinks and really nice champagnes, for example, some reds and some blues, some greens. But what we've seen, green probably more so in the Ellendale, but that's also another mine that's shut down. I don't want to complicate it too much. But what we've seen is a very, very big spike in color change, or not color change, color diamonds from that particular mine, because there's really no other mine that's on the horizon or even anywhere remotely comparable to where we're going to be able to get these color, these fancy, or they don't technically call them fancy, but the champagne and cognac diamonds from. So that's a huge upgrade. I say all that to say that yes, that is a huge, huge upgrade. These are getting expensive more and more by the day, even more so than just say your normal white, all natural color diamonds, which of course you do have in that secondary halo. That's going to be about 10 points in your primary, halo here of white diamonds. I like that they sort of did the white diamond halo first, and then they did this secondary, and it really just puts a nice secondary differentiation and cap. Makes this one like a very much a designer piece. You've got a finished under gallery on here, so it's going to feel very comfortable on the finger, and it's going to give you a nice, big, bold look. I think that's different from almost any ring that we have here today, and any ring that you're going to see out there in the retail world. Very cool opportunity. We're doing it for $329. All right? The code LIVE25 is then going to take that $329 and take it down to a very reasonable $246. Remember, you're getting the benchmark here. You're getting that big center stone. Okay? You're getting an absolutely beautiful pear cut. I think it's one of the only pear cuts that we have here today, so I should make that distinction as well. We don't have as much Turkizite in our inventory anymore, unfortunately. As I said before at the opening of the show, it's just something that is kind of going away on us. They're not getting the yields that they used to from the mine in the Anatolia Mountains there. So it's becoming more and more scarce. And what happens when things become more and more scarce, when supply dries up, demand is probably at an all-time high for this particular gemstone. So with the supply is less, right? Basic economics, little supply, still high demand. The word's out on Turkish diaspora, or Turkizite as we call it. Well, that's going to spike the price, and it typically does. Same deal I just told you about the champagne diamonds, right? So that's we're seeing that definitely with this particular gemstone. I know we're working with a couple different vendors to really try to find some, and some people that have some of the rough that they've saved up, but they're not getting the yields out of the mine that they once did. So it's a grim picture in terms of the availability. But if you own this gemstone and you can get it for as low as we're offering it today, it's a very good thing. So take it. I say all that to say this: take advantage of these deals if you can afford it. Look, we've got the budget pay on this as well. So that $246, you just divide that by 5 because you're going to have 5 budget pays. It's going to be less than $50. You get this home for less than $50. I should point out here at Shop LC, unless we're talking about a clearance event or an item that is on clearance, you will have a 30-day inspection period. So if you get it home, and for whatever reason, maybe you traveled to Turkey, maybe you found a better deal. As long as you return it within the 30-day period with the tag that's got a tag on it, don't take that tag off, then you're going to be able to get your money back. No big deal. Not going to hurt my feelings. Not going to hurt anybody's feelings. These are going to sell themselves, and you're going to notice that they're going to get more and more expensive as the days and months sort of move along. If in fact we can't seem to track down too much more than what we are at the moment. So I think this is going to be one that you're going to see even here at Shop LC get very, very expensive. Today you're going to get it at an all-time low price. So jump on it if you can do it, folks. So $50 will get this home, and then you're going to have basically $1.60, something like that a day for the remaining 4 months. Pretty doable, pretty manageable, right? And I love this ring. I think that's a super cool design. People are going to think, I mean, that's like straight off Rodeo Drive in terms of the design work. You're kind of blue box, you're really high-end luxury designers. So I love that one. That one's going to be Shop 5. Shop 5. At the moment, we've got enough to go around. At the moment, we've got them in sizes. I think even we have a 1 or 2 5s, and then I think up to size 9. Okay, so we're going to have it in the sizes at this moment. I don't know that's going to be the case after today. Now, I should mention, and I think I did at the very top, but I just want to kind of reiterate, we lock in these prices. So we've lowered a lot of the prices already on the website that you guys are going to get redirected to. But also, in addition to that, we're doing the Live 25. That code and the Live 25 code will be lifted after 24 hours.
48.
Oh, is it? We're back to 48?
Yeah.
Okay.
It keeps evolving.
With zig and zag. I like that better for you guys. So that's going to be an opportunity. But what I don't want you to do is sort of rest on your laurels. Like, okay, well, I'll just wait and see. I'd go ahead and grab it now if you can afford it. Go ahead and take care of it now. But 48 hours. I like that, though. Cool. So we have a little bit longer. Remind me to remind them of that at the end.
Yeah.
We're going to have that time period. So I like that. Good deal. Good deal. All right, next up, folks, we're going to give you a nice, big, bold look. This has a very, very expensive look here. Now, this is going to be moissanite here, but you've got this really nice sort of almost vintage, it looks like an expensive estate piece that you see, because with the moissanite, of course, you're getting the look of diamonds. I should mention one thing I didn't mention earlier about moissanite when I was giving you that sort of Cliff Notes version of that particular gemstone, is that it's a very durable gemstone as well. Like, so diamonds are a 10 on the most hardness scale, and in terms of scratch resistance, it's like the hardest substance known to man, right? That's the pinnacle, the diamond. Very high refractive index. This also has a very, very high refractive index, high dispersion, but it's a 9 1/4 on the most hardness scale. So it's almost harder than any other colored gemstone out there. Moissanite is. I guess say corundum's going to be about a 9. That's the rubies and sapphires. See, emerald's about an 8, just to kind of give you some perspective. So really the only thing that can scratch a moissanite, in other words, you've got a very durable gemstone that's going to be act as a protector around this other very durable gemstone at about a 7 on the most hardness scale in the Turkizite. All right, now that one, you've got 2 carat 15 total weight. I want to see what our center stone is. I think we're going to be at a full carat on your center stone if I had to guesstimate, but I don't like to do that because I've been wrong before in the past. Yes, well over. We're at a carat 45, in fact. So you got 2 carat 15 total weight. You'll basically take that carat 45. So that's nearly a carat and a half of an 8x6. That looks a little bit larger than 8x6. It's probably just because a lot of times what you get when you have the halos and things like that, what those do is they sort of amplify and make the gemstone, they create the optical illusion that it's a lot larger than it is. But this looks more like a... Yeah, let's try that. Yeah. So we got an 8x6. It just seemed a lot bigger, doesn't it? So you're kind of getting on that sort of cocktail ring cusp in terms of just a big presentation. Isn't that gorgeous? Art Deco sort of style design. So you've got that initial halo there, and then you've got all that really nice sort of filigreed, additional, I guess, sort of almost vine, like little vineyard type lattice work that you're seeing with all of the surrounding moissanites in sort of a nice diamond shape there. It's super, super classy, super elegant. Kind of got that nice symmetry too, very much like what you see in a lot of the old Art Deco pieces, which I love, which are so classic. So this is like, I think, definitely a very, very expensive look. And I love that you got kind of the fleur-de-lis here at the top, right, and bottom, the north and south there, and of course the east and the west, and the pavade. And look, this is a very labor-intensive ring. And especially when you consider the fact that it's the largest stone we've shown thus far. Okay? Probably the most labor intensive, I would say, except for the cutting, because the cutting I suspect on that octagon is the Asher cutting that you have with that octagon. Pretty labor intensive work there too in terms of the lapidary. But on this one, with all the pronging of these individual stones, I mean, this one's it's a feat, and it shows. It looks expensive. It should be expensive. We're doing it for $339. So you'll get that for $339, ladies and gentlemen. That's almost 1.5 carats on your center stone. It's almost 1.5 carats on a AAA quality Turkizite here. 18 karat vermeil, same as the other two other several that we've shown so far. So at $339, you're going to use the code LIFE25 on that. You're going to get it. Sorry, I'm a little allergies today. Let's see, $339 times 0.75. $254.25. The budget pay on that will be 5 budget payments of $50.85. We'll just round that up and call it $51 gets that. 1.5 carats of a very rare one-source gemstone, color change gemstone, clear color change gemstone, AAA quality color change gemstone. That is very impressive. And that's going to be shop 6. Shop 6 on that one. Shop 6. I love the look. It's just fantastic. And again, it looks like a very expensive estate ring. We got about 2 dozen of those to go around. We do have them in the various sizes, ladies. But that one's, and if you're wanting a little bit larger on the center stone compared to the ones that we've shown you thus far, this is the biggest one yet at about 1.45 carats. So roughly 1.5 carats. 1.45 carats minimum, in other words, yours will be. So it could be, 1.55 carats, but at the very least it will be 1.45 carats, if that makes sense. So it could be well over 1.5 carats. All right? Huge opportunity there. Very, very beautiful design if, in fact, you like a design that looks very, very expensive. All right? So that's shop 6. Loving that. We also have a gents ring today, but let's move into some earrings here, shall we? A classic set of studs here. We're going to talk about a trillion cut. What is a trillion? What is this? It's in the shape of a triangle. It's a very wasteful cut, but what it does is it really, much like a round brilliant, it does give you a lot, because it is a brilliant. It's a brilliant cut in terms of the faceting. So you're going to have roughly 50 to 59, 57 facets on a round trillion. But again, much like the round, a very wasteful cut. Asher cut, probably you could argue, was a very wasteful cut too. So that octagon, very wasteful cut as well, the one that we showed you here earlier. But a trillion, one of my favorite cuts, absolutely gorgeous on these. Nice size too. We're talking about a full carat in each of those. So that's going to be 2 full carats. Now that is very impressive. You know what else is impressive? We're doing these in 10 karat gold. Okay? 10K stamped. That's a big upgrade. Most of you are familiar with what gold's been doing. If you follow, if you're a lover of jewelry at all, or just kind of follow, the tickers and everything, because it's a trade commodity, you know that gold's kind of been going really, really up there in the last really. When hasn't it gone up? I guess the last year that it had a down year was probably 2015. And it wasn't down for very long, so it zigs and zags, but it's been on tear in the last year or so. And this year alone, we breached the 3,000 per troy ounce mark. I think we're like 340 something, 3340. I think when I checked yesterday. So, but it's constantly being traded throughout the world, but as a commodity. But it's on the up. All right, so very big upgrade on these. First item that we've shown you that's going to be in solid gold. Okay. So that's important to note. Now, the other thing, a benchmark size. On each of these, you're getting a full carat. So later on down the road, maybe when these are worth a ton of money, which I suspect they will. I'm not an investment advisor, though. We can't guarantee anything. But common sense and the past, and just the scarcity and the rarity, the fact that it's a one-source gemstone, Turkizite is. The fact that it's sort of drying up and we're not seeing the yields that we once saw suggest that it's sort of, unless they can find another little pocket over there in Turkey or somewhere where this color change Turkish diaspores can be located, then for all intents and purposes, we're drying up on the amount that we have. It's a very well-known gemstone in the gem world now, so it's one that has a good pedigree as well. But yeah, kind of all the indicators are there that suggest that you're going to have something that's going to definitely appreciate very nicely if the past is any sort of indicator. Because just in the past 15 years since I've been aware of this particular gemstone. I remember when you could get it for a very, very affordable price. I remember when we were selling 1 carats 13 years ago for, I think we were doing them for maybe around, I want to say around $75 a carat. That's almost unheard of now. So understand, this is a pair of earrings. I think our starting price or our estimated retail price on this probably is even a little bit low. We had it at $1,200, but we're doing them for $379. $379. Those are in gold. That is a very nice, fancy trillion cut. And that $379 is not, of course, going to be the final word either. We're going to get these down below $300 when all the dust settles, because you've got that code Live25. So Live25 goes in, and now we're at $284. You factor in the gold, and basically we're giving this to you for what we were selling 1 carats for at a very good price, dealer to dealer, on my another value network that I worked with originally 13 years ago. And you're getting basically these for the same price. If you really want to shake it out in terms of the gold, you take away the gold, that's, it's going to be around probably $100. I would say, yeah, that's fair. $100 a carat. That's wild. That is wild for something that, when you got that benchmark size, even now, you're going to have instant equity in those. And I love a trillion too. So it's going to give you a really cool look. Guys, if you have your ears pierced, go for it. Absolutely 110%. You've got the nice post and friction backs on those. But again, solid 10 karat gold. How many do we have to go around? That's a good question, friends. We've got on this one, less than 20 are available for you. This would make a fantastic gift. You could use the budget pay, because the $284 could be then converted into, by dividing that by 5, $56. So if you wanted to grab 2 of these, be a little over $100, $113 and some change. $113. Also, very, very something I do want to note here. Pretty much every item that we've shown you thus far, and that we will show you in this program, as affordable as they are, most of the items that I've shown you here thus far have been over the threshold of $49.99. Why is that important? Well, because, get off my feet, because that means you get free shipping. That's going to save you another $4.99 right there. So take advantage of this deal, folks. Amazing opportunity in solid gold, AAA quality, 2 full carats. That's 1 carat per ear, fancy trillion cut. Checks all the boxes. Huge deal on those. All right, and these are going to be shop 7, but we don't have that many. Shop 7. So if you're a collector, and look, we have a lot of vendors out there that watch these programs as well. So that I mean, I'm 19 or so. I'm hoping that you're going to be able to get yours, but I wouldn't wait too long on that. That's a really, really sensational deal. And when we're talking about 2 full carats, that's pretty noteworthy, in 10 karat gold as well. All right, so I'm going to move on. That's shop 7. Shop 7. And if you just joined us today, folks, our business that we're working with here on the Shop LC live stream, my name is Chris, thank you for watching, by the way, is Turkish Diaspora, also known as Zoltanite, or there's a couple of the trade names, they slip my mind right now, but a relatively new gemstone discovery. It's also, we call it Turkizite, and that's going to be the name I think that sticks. And it's a beautiful, all natural, genuine color change gemstone. Now you can count on less than 2 hands the amount of actual natural color change gemstones in the world. You've got sapphires, you've got the, of course, original color change gemstone, alexandrite. You've got some color change garnets that were discovered in the late 90s, early 2000s. But let's see what else. I mean, color change fluorite maybe, but that are all natural color change gemstones, very, very few in the wild. So that's a phenomenon that does carry a nice, rich pedigree with it. It also is a huge value adder, or value add benefit when we're talking about any kind of gemstone. And with this one, you get this beautiful sort of rich kiwi green to a nice strawberry champagne in terms of that color change, typically. Okay? Now, that said, let's talk about dear old dad. All right? It's Father's Day on the 15th of this month. We have a good bit of guys that watch these shows. Give us a shout out, fellas, if you're out there. But it's no secret that here at Shop LC, and pretty much a lot of the shopping networks, it's going to be majority of female clients. And so I say that all that to say that whenever we give you these opportunities with the gents rings, probably a shrewd idea to jump in and take advantage of it. If in fact you or your husband or ladies, a lot of you want your man to get it more into the gemstones. Maybe you have a dad, or your son, whomever, brother that you love dearly, and you want to get him something nice. This next ring is going to be very, very nice. But I mentioned the Father's Day because, folks, we can probably get these all out to you in time to where you would have them by Father's Day, or at least this particular ring. I mean, I don't know that we'd be giving much of the others unless you get ears pierced. You could always go with the studs. But this is our only Turkizite gents ring that we have here today. It's going to be wildly affordable. It's an 18 karat vermeil. It's going to give it a very expensive look. It's a classic design. It's never going to go out of style. You got a really nice, it's almost like a scissor cut emerald on this one, or I guess rectangle cut. Really beautiful cut. Really beautiful on this one. The color is amazing. It's a big stone. We're looking at about 2 carats. All right, now you're going to have a halo there of moissanite. Just ever so subtle. It's this micropave moissanite halo. Just enough to give it, not too much bling, but enough to really amplify that stone, give it a nice ring of class around it, sophistication, give it some nice sparkle that I think really does complement that gemstone very, very nicely. This is not cumbersome. It feels very, very smooth, feels very comfortable on the hand. So you're going to have a finished undergallery with this one as well. A lot of precious metal on this one. So you got the 18 karat vermeil, but that's going to be on top of the sterling silver. Now, they're talking about the fleur-de-lis. I'm not necessarily seeing fleur-de-lis men's ring. What are they talking about? Oh, how cool is this? I got it. So we're calling this the Turkizite fleur-de-lis. You guys are familiar with the fleur-de-lis. Think the New Orleans Saint symbol, right? It's an old French symbol. It used to mean French royalty. It's also considered good luck and supposedly help to bring good fortune. We could always use a little more of that. But you see that fleur-de-lis right there underneath the stone? So you got some nice scroll work underneath here too, which makes it really full and complete in terms of the design work here. But can we scroll down? I want to get the exact. Now, folks, here's the deal. We don't have many of these. This would make a premium and a killer Father's Day gift. We're doing it for $339. It's a carat 82. All right, a carat 82 on that 8x6 center stone here. The remainder will be, of course, in the moissanite. So, for all intents and purposes, you're getting a big, bold 8x6 is going to give you a nice, full look. It's over a carat and 3/4. That is very, very nice. Now, keep in mind, when we're talking about the rarity and the exclusivity of this gemstone, the carat weight on the main stone is going to be a big, big factor in terms of the value, in terms of the resale as well, if you ever decide to do that. This one's going to be Shop 8. In terms of the availability that we have on this one, folks, I want to say this may have been the one that I was thinking was... Yeah, we've only got about 8 of these to go around. Look, we've only got them also in the 12, 13, and 14. But what I'll also say is, well, it's vermeil, so it's going to be kind of difficult in terms of but you could have this size if you need the smaller sizes. I wouldn't think it'd be too much of an issue in terms of sizing, because you've got those pronged in moissanite. You've got but it has a very, very expensive look, and it's got nice girth to it. It's a nice heavy ring, but just a classic kind of gents style there. It's never that look is never going to go out of trend, right? It's never not going to be in vogue. And ladies, I wouldn't be mad at you if you wanted to get one of these and just size it down. I don't think that should be too much of an issue. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful look. And of course, that 18 karat with 75% solid gold in that overlay with 2.5 microns at a bare minimum. As long as you're not, jumping in the ocean and being rough on it, that should last and last and last without you having to get a dip on it. The 18 karat, it's got a nice, rich, buttery look, which I think nothing complements Turkizite better than probably yellow gold, which is why you're probably seeing everything that we got here today is going to be in yellow gold. I actually think it might not look bad in rose gold, though, if we ever decided to do that, because of the strawberry champagne kind of has that morganite feel to it. So I think that could be pretty too. But we'll cross that bridge once we get to it. Folks, these are very limited. All right, this is probably one of the more limited items that we have. It's the only gents ring we have, and it's the most affordable. I think in terms of bang for your buck, it's probably one of the best, and we've got literally thousands of pieces of jewelry. We do have a lot of gents rings in at the moment, relatively for us, just because of in anticipation of Father's Day. But at $339, to be able to get over 1.75 carats on a Turkizite, a rare gemstone, a one-source gemstone, a color change gemstone, all natural gemstone, that is very, very impressive. I can't believe we're not doing this for like 400 or 500, quite frankly. Because A, you've also got, or B, you've also got a lot of precious metal on this one. Gents rings are just going to be a little bit heavier metal-wise, right? And that's going to all be in sterling silver, and then of course the 18 karat. Now let's talk about how we can get this down even lower. That $339 is not the final word, because you got the code LIVE25. This is going to be shop 8, okay? For those of you out there that are keeping score, shop 8 on this one. So I'm going to give you the final price after you punch in the code LIVE25. You'll get this for about $254. $254 is going to get that very, very handsome, very sharp gents ring with a 1.82 carat center stone home to you. Now, that's an outright price. You can also divvy that up into 5 payments on the budget pay, as we've been saying here. So that's going to be $50.85. $50.85. I think we're doing pretty good on time too, aren't we, buddy?
Pretty decent, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Because we have about 8 more items, I think.
Okay. Well, we're at the halfway point. So, friends, if you want that gents ring, you're going to need to move quickly. That's a very sharp. It looks like it's almost in 20 karat gold. It's got a really rich, buttery look to it too. So I really like that. Only in 12, 13, 14 though. Good rule of thumb for gentlemen, typically, if we say women, if you have to guesstimate a good 7 or an 8, this is usually pretty good, at least the average size in America. I would say probably 12 is about the average size gents ring, 11, maybe 11 and a half or 12. So if you're not quite sure what that is, I would go ahead and probably, depending on, for example, I wear 12 in a ring. I have really big hands. I don't necessarily have the fattest fingers per se, but I'm 6'2", about 220 pounds. Just to give you some scale. So depending, if you're trying to guesstimate, for example, what dad may be, 12's probably a good bet. Maybe he'll be able to find a finger and make it fit. If he's a hoss, just go with maybe the 13 or the 14. Bigger dude. But yeah. All right. And we've got 4 reviews on these. They're all 5 stars. It's a solid. I mean, it's just a solid classic. Nice high polish shine on it. The halo is not too much in terms of the bling. It's going to be something you dress up, dress down. I could wear this with what I'm wearing now. I could wear it with a t-shirt. I could wear it, you wear it with a tuxedo, and it's still going to look really classy. So a very versatile ring as well. All right, we're going to move on. Very limited though, guys. Father's Day, you can get it in time if you're in the continental U.S. I'll say. You got free shipping on that one. Let's grab that one up. And we do have the most in terms of the Let me get this real quick too, because I think this is going to be important. Because look, folks, this time next Sunday, we're not going to be able to guarantee that it will be there in time for Father's Day. I can probably say that pretty safely. Pretty safe to say. Yeah, we only got 1 in the 14. So if you got a bigger guy that you want, or you yourself, gentlemen, or a little bit larger of a fella, got big hands, then the 14 there's only 1 of. But we have most of those in the size 12, and there's a good reason for that. And then two in the size 13. All right, so we're gonna move on. That was shop. What are we on? That was shop 8.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do a quick reset. For those of you out there that just joined us, this is the Shop LC live stream. We do these every day from 10 a.m. To 12 p.m. Central Time, and then from 2 p.m., which is this one, to 4 p.m. Central Time. The way it's going to work, if you see an item, well, first off, you're going to need to get registered. I'm going to encourage you to either go to the website shoplc.com to get registered, or you can call a personal shopper, which is 888-835-2237. Again, that number is 888-835-2237. They can get you set up in no time. It'll literally take probably a minute of your time to get registered. There's no membership fees. We would love to have you as a member of the Shop LC family. You're going to find that we have like the most cool items, from jewelry to lifestyle, you name it, we've got it. It's literally thousands and thousands of items if you go to the Shop LC website. Okay, that's number 1. Make sure you're registered if you're not. And your information will always be very safe here too as well. So you can store credit card information, what have you, and you can be ready to pull the trigger at a moment's notice. For example, with that Jets ring, where there's very limited quantity, you're probably going to see a sell-off on those, I suspect, just with Father's Day being right around the corner. That said, if there is any other item that you see throughout the course of this show that you're interested in, maybe I went too fast on an item, maybe I went too slow on an item, you can always let us know in the comment section if you want me to try to reflash something in. We try to be as responsive as possible. If you have any questions about anything, you can always send those in. DJ, our wonderful producer, will field those initially. If you just want to say hello, we'd love to hear from you as well. But that said, if in fact you do find an item that you're really kind of feeling, and maybe you're just ready to pull the trigger on it, you're like, I'm sold, I love it, it's a great value, I see it, and these are all great values. I gotta tell you, these are some of the best values that you're going to see on one of the rarest gemstones. But once you do find an item that you're particularly interested in, for example, we just did Shop 8. You would put that in the comment section right down here. It's probably where it's at for most of you that are watching, right below my hand here. All right, so you put Shop 8 if you like that gents ring. This item, the next item here that we're doing, this is a round, brilliant pair of earrings in 10 karat yellow gold. They'll be Shop 9. So you'll put that in the comment section. Just click on that. For everybody on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, you will be redirected to the website. Our friends on TikTok, slightly different, but not that complicated. You're going to get our producer, Mr. DJ, is going to give you a 7-digit SKU number, which you're then going to need to copy. He'll just bounce it back to you, okay? The 7-digit SKU number, what's called a SKU number. You'll then go to shoplc.com. This is for our friends on TikTok, so it's just a little bit different. Shoplc.com. There's going to be a search bar, just like any like a Google or Bing, any kind of search engine. There'll be a search bar. Once you get to the Shop LC website, you punch that in, and then it should redirect you to whatever particular item that he gives you that SKU number for. Is that simple enough? If there's any further questions about it, send us a comment, and we'll try to clarify. If you have any questions about any particular gemstone or just anything throughout the course of the program, I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability, or if DJ can't. If we can't, then we'll see what we can do, all right? But if I go too fast on an item and you just kind of come in on an item, but you want it and you're really giving it some serious consideration, we'll try to make time if time permits, and I'm more than happy to try to flash that back in. Just let DJ know in the comment section. Also, I should point out we are doing the Rolex drawing on the 25th of June. You've got 25 days where you can go to shoplc.com. You guys should probably do that when you go. If you go to check out and you go to buy an item, go ahead and go there daily. You can put your name in. There's no purchase necessary. At the end, and on the 25th, we're going to be doing a drawing where you give away a Rolex Datejust 41. It's a very, very nice 18 karat and stainless steel Rolex, genuine Rolex. So not too shabby. Got pretty good odds too, I think. Especially since you can go there every single day and register to win. So you'll get, I guess if you were to do it today, you'd probably have at least maybe 24, 25 entries. Because today's our first, right? Yeah. It's first of the month. You can go there daily. Make sure you do that. Doesn't cost you anything. Also, each day we're going to be giving away 2 separate prizes. One will be Shop LC. We'll do a drawing daily. One will be a Shop LC Bucks, like $100 kind of a gift card type deal, which $100 here take you a pretty long way. I mean, a lot of the items that I've already shown you here, most of these you could probably have gotten with the budget pay using $100 if you were to be one of the daily winners. Also, each day they're giving away kind of another really cool prize. It's usually going to be anywhere from $250 to probably $1,000 value of whatever it may be. I think they're giving away an iPad, an iPhone. They're giving away amazing gemstones. They gave away a really beautiful amethyst necklace yesterday, I think. So a lot of cool items, and those are daily too, but you also get your name in the hat for that drawing. All right. That's going to do it, I think, for the house cleaning. If you guys are ready to continue seeing cool stuff, then let's continue on, shall we? Now, I talked about this briefly. This is going to be Shop 9. Shop 9. Classic set of round, brilliant studs. These are $359. They're in solid gold. You've got the 8... Wait, oh, no, that's not them. That's the octagons. There we go. You've got the 4-pronged mounting here. Carat 50 total weight, though. Okay, so we're looking at 75 points a piece. Probably going to be about 6 millimeters, 6.5. Just to give you some perspective, 6.5 round millimeter usually is going to denote about a carat. So these are going to give you that look of a carat, quite frankly. But they're going to be at a bare minimum a carat 50 between the two of them. So we're looking at probably roughly 75 points, at least, on each ear. Guys, got your ears pierced? Go for it. I just don't have my ears pierced, but if I did, I would totally rock these. 75 points is a nice, we're kind of getting to a nice benchmark on that one because you're at least at 3/4 of a carat. And, you know, with each quarter of a carat, especially with a rare gemstone like this and such a valuable gemstone, I think quarter carats matter too. It's not necessarily that 1 carat benchmark, but it definitely has some teeth. And you can get those for $359. You've also got in the round brilliant what is probably one of your more popular cuts statistically. At least it is for round clear diamonds. And for color change gemstones, I suspect as well, yes, that is going to be your most popular. And full disclosure, it's my favorite cut. I like a round cut. I like the symmetry. I like the sparkle, the fire, the brilliance that you get in a stone with that symmetry. And it's just a beautiful way, I think, of displaying jewelry. Very, very nice color on those as well. Right now you're sort of seeing this the sort of kiwi green, I'm guessing. At least that's what I'm seeing. What are you guys seeing at home? A little bit of the strawberry champagne kind of mixed, sprinkled in there at the moment, just because we have a bunch of different light sources. So $359, right? That's going to end up getting down below $300 after you use the code LIVE25. So you're going to get these for an amazing, amazing value. Now, they are in solid 10 karat gold. I should point that out. This is not going to be a vermeil situation on top of a 925 sterling silver. Still valuable, but these are in solid gold. So take advantage of these, folks. I've got to tell you, the amount and availability that we're going to have for you here is looking like, looking like these are going to sell out. We got about 4 of these to work with. There's only 4 pairs. Would make an excellent gift. You're getting them less than $300, friends. It's going to be about $280 and some change. You've got the budget pay opportunity on this one. That's going to be around $54 or something like that, give or take a couple dollars. But these are very limited. Probably one of our most limited of all the items we have today, if not the. No, we didn't do the pendant on that ring, did we? Or we didn't? Do we not have that in the studio?
No.
Okay. Can we load it in there though?
Yeah, it's already loaded in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this other than we had the matching pendant to go with that really cool ring that I showed you guys earlier. That was this ring. I'm just going to kind of flash it in, but we're going to add the pendant. We just don't have it in studio. It's a little minor oversight So if you guys wanted the matching pendant to go with that, I think that was one of the coolest designs on that ring. All right, but very limited. Other than the pendant, which we only have 2 in that one, which might have been the reason why they didn't include it, because it may be down to 1 or something like that. But anyway, I digress. Very limited. Take advantage of it. If you love a round, brilliant cut, if you love one of the premier color change gemstones, natural color change gemstones, valuable gemstone, this is going to be that opportunity. All right, now we're going to move on. That's going to be shop 9. Shop 10, here it comes, folks. Now we're getting into very, very large territory in terms of your carat weight here coming up. That's not you. It's going to be you, I think, sir. No. Now let's see. DJ, am I missing something?
Should be up there.
I don't know that that's the one. This is not. Yeah, these are not that. Unless I'm not missing it. It should be. This is going to be a really, really big one, there, buddy. Look, you're thinking probably the bigger than anything that we have out here. Because it's about 5 carats. Hopefully we do.
Oh yeah, no, we don't have it anyway.
Doggone it. Okay. Can we add it in?
Yeah, it's already added in.
Okay, because that would be a piece, the resistance piece. But no worries.
So move on to the we do have the pendant though.
Okay, yeah, we do have the pendant. Yeah, so this is going to be probably, in terms of the size, friends, this is the next piece that I'm about to show you is probably the largest that we have, at least here in studio today. It is massive. Now, this is a gemstone that you're not seeing necessarily in really, really large carat weight sizes. I mean, it's not uncommon to see it in 2 carat or so, but it's the rarity of it. So when we're talking about these really, really large stones, this is going to be something that's very, very, very much valuable. Once you get into the benchmarks, now this is going to be about 5 carats. Let's scroll down. I'm going to go ahead and give you the price. This is in 14 karat gold. All right. It is AAA quality. Make an argument. That's pretty deep saturation, especially with the size also a lot of times will affect the color saturation as well. But this is a 12 by 8. It's massive. We do have the matching ring. I would encourage you just to go to shoplc.com. And at the end of the show, we'll have that ring featured, but it would be definitely a piece de resistance. As it is, this absolutely gorgeous pendant, classic style design. Look at that, huge stone, over 5 carats, 12 by 8. Now we do have the certified appraisal that's coming along for the ride, independent of us. It's AGI. We use them a lot, but they're not affiliated with us. We've given them a lot of business over the years, and they tend to err more on a conservative side, which we like. And I like that about using them. They've got it at $5,800. I think that's relatively low. That's one of the reasons why we do use them, because we'd rather underpromise and overdeliver. But that's an independent third-party appraisal. You've got AAA quality. You've got, in terms of the cutting, they're calling it excellent. Okay, that doesn't get much better than that. In other words, that's an A+. 3A is going to be considered an A. The clarity, eye clean. Okay, so you're not going to see a lot of visible inclusions here. That's important as well. Excellent color change. And friends, $5,800. We're doing it today for $23.99. Now, you use the code LIVE25. Now, this is in 14 karat gold. I should make that distinction. You also have the remainder of that, which is going to be about 25 points in your diamonds in that nice bail there. So I love what they did here. You got this channel set row of princess cuts. And if you guys see the ring to go with this, it's going to be very much in the same vein, only this stone will be flipped east to west, okay? So we do have the matching ring. Unfortunately, we just don't have it in studio here, okay? There's only 2 of the ring, though. But if you get this pendant, I'm going to highly encourage you to try to get that ring. You can call the personal shopper on this one, all right? Real quick, let's just kind of talk about the price here, because with the code LIVE25, I want to give you the exact specs. $23.39 is a very, very good price when we're talking about 5 carats. benchmark sizes, you go up exponentially, especially for this particular gemstone, as you go up in carat weight. So let's just say if it's $1,000 for a 1 carat, it's not going to be $2,000 for a 2 carat. It's going to be closer in the range of probably $2,500 for a 2 carat, and then for a 3 carat, that's going to be well over $1,000 per carat, because it's more rare to see a 3 carat than it is a 2 carat. It's more rare to see a 2 carat than it is a 1 carat. So exponentially, you're going to see a price increase. So for that reason, you've got a $15,000 I think piece here that you're getting for $23.39. I think the estimate appraisal that they did was very, very low. That's actually our replacement cost, probably closer to that, but $5,800 is still nothing to sneeze at. You still got equity even if at $5,800. So let's see, $23.99. I'm kind of all over the map here, but give me just a second. And $23.99 times 0.75. So with the code LIVE25, you get this for $17.99, under $1,800. It's a 5 carat, okay, with diamonds in 14 karat. You've also got the budget pay. You can break that into 5 payments if you want to. It's going to be under $500, so we'll divide that by 5. That's going to end up being $359. $359. Extremely rare to see this size, this kind of quality. And of course, you put the best in the best. You've got that in the solid 14 karat gold mounting. It's not going to come with the chain, but that's without chain, yeah. But that's okay. We've got plenty of chains we can sell you at shoplc.com or call the personal shopper. But don't miss this opportunity. If in fact you love that look, friends, it's a really, really solid piece. Now, we've only got 2 of these as well. So we've only got 2 and 2. There's 2 of the pendant and there'll be 2 of the rings. You got to call the personal shopper about the ring, but the ring will be roughly 5 carats plus at a minimum, I suspect. And they'll be able to get you all the information. We've also are going to add that to the show. Unfortunately, we just don't have it in the studio. It's probably down to maybe 1 of them then, and that could have been the discrepancy. Okay, so 2 on the pendant. This is the one we've had probably the least of just about anything here today, but it is an absolute beauty. It's going to be 1 inch from bail to bottom, and a really, really nice bail on that one as well, with all the channel set princess cuts and of course those rounds flanking the east and west. Amazing look on this one. Really, really cool opportunity. And that's a big, big stone. That's a big emerald cut. I love that. Really excellent color too. All right, so we're going to move on. That's going to come, by the way, with your Luxuro card, because of course this is from our high-end Luxuro brand. So you'll have the nice packaging as well, and you'll also have the appraisal that will come along for the ride, and you'll have some instant equity should you get that insured, and if something were to happen to it, because you get $5,800. Which is significantly lower than $17.99, is it not? Okay. So get that home. If there's any question, that's going to be the single biggest, I think, piece that we have today. Actually, this other pin is pretty large, but I'll double check. Yeah, that's going to be the largest I think that we have here. But I want to encourage you to grab that and grab the ring too. All right. So next up, we've got a 3 carat 40. And this one has a nice big bold look too. Now this is also going to be in the 14 karat gold. You've got a fancy cut on this one. I love this. So it almost appears as if it's another octagon-ish. This one not quite as distinctive, but yeah, I think this actually might be one. How many sides do I have? 1, 2. No, it's a decagon. Isn't that when you have 10 sides?
I believe so, yeah.
I think it's a decagon. Somebody out there can correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a minute since I took geometry. That is amazing. This has got like almost a radiant laser, what almost looks like a laser cut. This is so unique, friends. Oh my gosh, this is premium. Okay, this is something you don't see every day. And I love different. You guys watch my show here. You know that I'm always preaching that. I like something that's a little bit out of the mainstream. This is different, but this is a very, very expensive and interesting and really unique cut here that you're getting on this one. At first glance, you're going to think it's sort of a round, but it's like a decagon. I'm assuming that's the word for it. I hope I'm not getting that wrong. But man, oh man, look at this in person. This is so cool. and I'm just a huge fan of rounds, but then you add to that just the uniqueness of this piece. How beautiful is that? So you're looking at probably over 3 carats just on the center stone. Very, very fancy cut too. Now, 14 karat gold, you've got the remainder in your diamonds. Let's scroll down. I just want to get the exact, because I don't want to mislead anybody. If I got to think that's way less than 40 points in diamonds, so it's going to be at least a 3 carat plus. Yeah, 3 carat 7 on your center stone. 3 carat 7 on that big center stone. So well over that 3 carat benchmark on a very, very unique and I think absolutely beautiful cut here. I'm very bullish on this piece. If I can sit still. How nice is this? You know what? This actually might work. I think this and the previous item could work for the gents too. I mean, I don't see why not. They got a little bling on them, but other than that, I think that's a cool look. You know, guys, if you want to jump in and grab that, I wouldn't be mad at you. I think that's a cool look. It's a 9mm in terms of the circumference, and AAA quality. This one also going to be with the certified appraisal, and I'll be interested to see what they have to say about that. Now they've got it at $4,700. Friends, we're doing it today marked down to $1,989. That's then you're going to basically get about $500 off of that because you're going to use the code LIVE25. This will be less than $1,500. Less than $1,500. It's over 3 carats. It's got the pedigree that comes with it. That amazing. This is like award-winning cutting here too. And I hope you guys were able to see this. I feel like this picture doesn't really do it justice in terms of the light refraction that you're getting with this. I'm going to try to see if I can maybe hold this in front. Let's see what's going to be the best way to do this. Just bear with me for just a second, folks. I'm in love with this piece. I think it's so cool. And I'm going to try to get my big head out of the way so that you guys can it'll focus maybe a little better. Are you guys seeing that though? All that brilliance and sparkle that you're getting with that. It's almost like you're in warp speed or something. If you could see that stone, just all the light refraction. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. Also, what I love, you've got the baguettes, you've got the rounds, you've even got the diamonds in the bail there too. So a lot of nice little tucked away bling there as well, and it kind of a little bit differentiation when we talk about the halo of this having baguettes as well as rounds. I love that too. I think that's really adds a uniqueness to it that this is something you don't see in the world of retail. And then think about it, in the world of retail, if you are to see a gemstone like this, people typically aren't going to go out on a limb in terms of design work and stuff like that. They just want to go with kind of your classic, maybe just a normal round brilliant halo, something like that. And I understand that because, a lot of times because things are different, you do have a uniqueness factor, but also they want to go with classics because they don't want to have inventory that sits there and sort of languishes, and they know that the classics are classics for a reason, right? They sell a little bit faster. But I love it when you come to Shop LC where you get these really, truly one-of-a-kind kind of unique pieces. That's not to say that there's only one of these exactly, but let's see. And folks, less than $1,500, that's such a steal for something like this with that cut. We've only got 2 of these. So there's that. Only got 2. But that's probably going to be the second, or at least the third largest, since we have the ring with the matching pendant there. Probably the second largest stone that we have here at over 3 carats. All right, it's shop 12. I'm going to move on just because I don't want to run out of time, and I want to make sure we get to everything. Oh my goodness, we have the matching ring to go with this, don't we?
Mm-hmm. And also, we have plenty of time. We have about 1, 2, 3 items left.
Oh, perfect. Oh, that's right, because we didn't have
There's 2 items we didn't have,
Copy that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. We're making great time. So I can relax a little bit. Usually I'm rushed on these shows. If you guys ever watch them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've got to get this ring. You've got to get this. You've got to get this total combo. This is the coolest ever. It's the exact same design. It's the exact same, roughly. It's everything. It's basically ditto everything that we just did on the pendant. Let's pull up the ring behind me too, and then I'm gonna get you to scroll down for me. I think we have a couple of these to go around at least. I think maybe the pendant, we just didn't get that. Yes, we do, thankfully. Okay, we've got about a dozen of these, of the ring. In that really super unique decagon cut. Let's see, they put 1, 2. It's about a 9, but again, it's got that exact same cut. Fancy cuts carry a premium, especially when it's a super cool one like this, where it's like everything that I love about a round, but then with all these twists in the tin surfaces. It's got that beautiful halo that I was just telling you about. With the sorry, my mouth's a little dry. Are your allergies out there bad? People, let me know. Maybe I'm the only one. All right, now, take a look at this. I'm just going to show it to you on my pinky, and it's a big look, too. Wow. Yeah, over 3 carats. So basically, everything that I told you about the pendant, it's the exact same design, give or take a point or so. And it is a beauty. Big kind of cocktail ring look. Relatively low profile. That'd make a really pretty engagement ring, too, ladies. Truly unique. Very cool. I love the rounds, love the baguettes. You then even have more diamonds going down either side of your shanks on the east and the west there. This one also going to be, I believe, certified and appraised. So, we are looking at, we're doing this one for $21.29. So it's going to be just over $1,500, but wait. There's more, but real quick, let me tell you about they've got it at $6,300. AAA, eye clean, excellent in terms of the cut. 9 millimeters around, 42 points in diamonds. It's in 14 karat gold. That's very noteworthy. Friends, you're going to get this for about the price of the mounting, if I'm being completely honest. 14 karat gold mountings are very expensive nowadays. I mean, look, to give you some perspective, I mentioned this earlier in the show. When I first got started in this business at another shopping network, Jewelry Treasures with Chris was the name of the show. Right? We had a really good run, enjoyed it immensely, but we would sell and it was a good value shopping network that had pretty good values. Now they had very expensive gemstones, sometimes here and there, and exotic gemstones, very cool. But we would sell a mounting, like, I guess comparable to this mounting in 14 karat gold, and we would sell those for about $999. And some of you may even remember, if you're some people that follow me for over a decade. That was 13 years ago that we would sell a mounting comparable to this in 14 karat gold with diamonds, $999. You're getting the entire ring with a 3 carat 8 for less than, I think it's going to come out for around $1,600. Adjusted for inflation, I got to assume they're probably selling that same mounting for at least $1,600 now. So it's like you're getting that gemstone for free. And that was like a really good price on a mounting back then. So I want you to understand, the value here is pretty huge. When we're talking about a gemstone, I think that should be probably closer to the $2,500 a carat range. Because we're talking about over 3 carats. That's a big, big benchmark. And remember what I said earlier about, when we talk about carat weight, especially for gemstones like this, with the rarity and exotic nature of it, a 3 carat is going to be exponentially more per carat than, I would say, a 1 carat or less. So I think there's a huge opportunity here. And if, in fact, you decide to get the ring, the matching ring, remember the pendant. So the ring's going to be shop 13. The pendant was, the pendant was shop 12. If you get both of these, I think that would come out to around probably, you're like talking about $3,000 with both of those. But then you're going to take off, or maybe a little bit over $3,000 to get both of those. But then you take off an additional 10%. So you're going to save another $300 on top of that. So it's probably going to end up being in the neighborhood of $2,700, give or take about, I don't know, $40 or so, if you grab the pendant and the matching ring. And I don't know anywhere else that you're going to go where you're going to get that exact look with that amazing and very unique fancy cut, the decagon cut. It's spectacular. Kind of a laser, almost like a laser type cutting too that you're seeing, so where everything just almost emanates right from the center, and you see all of these just like almost like just beams of light. It is so radiant, so beautiful. I'm loving it. I think that's going to be my favorite piece. Favorite pieces. And the color on these and the color change is absolutely amazing. So, super bullish on these. If you can afford it, folks, those are both in 14 karat. If you have a little gold chain, or you can go to Shop LC, you can get a vermeil chain. But I think that's just like that might be the really the coolest ring, at least in my opinion. I love that. So different, but so beautiful. Let's give you one last look at it. Now that's the pendant, and then there is your ring. It's going to be about 3/4 of an inch from bell to bottom, the pendant, but it's going to give you a nice big look. Guys, I think guys could totally rock this. Totally. I mean, it's not necessarily, I don't see it as being overly feminine, but it's definitely very, very nice. Big, bold look. Matching pendant. We're moving on. Now, shop 13, shop 12. So cool. So limited, though. Only 2 in the pendant, though. 2 in the pendant. You might be able to grab the ring, but that's somewhat limited as well. But, gosh, that's so pretty. Full-throated endorsement. That's a winner. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. Oh, on the ring, by the way, I think I did tell you this, but it was a $6,300. $6,300 was the appraisal. That'll be coming along for the ride. Okay, so you're gonna get, that's another like $200-300 value right there on that appraisal. Okay. Moving onward and forward. Now we've got an emerald cut coming your way. Let's see. Now, business today, if you just joined us, what we're working with here is going to be, it's called Turkizite. It's gone by a couple different trade names. It's essentially a color change Turkish diaspora, relatively rare gemstone, one source gemstone found in the Anatolia Mountains there in Turkey. There's only one place on Earth that we know of that this material can be found. So that gives it definitely a level of rarity that I think it bodes well in terms of value increasing, especially since they're not getting as much of the good quality material out of this mine anymore. At least those are the reports that I'm hearing. So you've got something that's going to be probably, unless they discover some new pockets, and you never know, but this is probably going to be kind of going away within, I'd say, a generation or so. At least that's what I'm being told. So that adds a level of exclusivity and rarity on a gemstone that's kind of got pretty. The names got out in the trades. So gemstone connoisseurs have been collecting this for a while, knowing that it could be very much, following the same footsteps of the original color change gemstone, Alexandrite. So I mean, you got an opportunity here for definite. It's just a beautiful gemstone. It goes from sort of a strawberry champagne to a kiwi green, depending on whether you're in incandescent light, sort of candle light, or just I think UV light. All right. Now that said, let's move on to the shop 14 here. This is going to be a nice size center stone here. You got 2 carat 90 total weight. Kind of an Art Deco ring is what we're calling it, and I think that's fair. You've got really beautiful compression set and almost channel set, but they're also sort of, wait, are these prompt? Don't think so. No, yeah, those are just seamlessly placed in there. Yeah, you got all of these, a double row essentially of the princess cuts right there, right? So that's pretty laborious task as well from just a lapidary standpoint, just to place each one of those and to do it so firmly, so snugly. Now this is going to be in 10 karat gold, so we've got a solid gold piece here, AAA quality, nice color change on that. Let's scroll down just a little bit to the bottom, and then I'm going to see what, in terms of center stone, we're probably looking at about 2 carat 50. 2 carat 67 is going to be your center stone size. Just going to show it to you on my finger, give you an idea of scale. I got really big hands. I always like to make that caveat and disclosure. So, ladies, this is going to look really, really nice and probably a lot larger on yours. Now, let's talk about what we're going to be doing on the price of this. So the remainder, you got 2 carat 67, and then the remainder of that 2 carat 90 will be in those beautiful channel sort of compression set princess cuts. Now, let's talk about the price. We're doing this for $19.29. Over 2.5 carats, $19.29. You're going to take about $400 or $500 off that with the code LIVE25. And that's going to get this down in the neighborhood of, well, below $1,500. As a matter of fact, let me just punch this in. We got time. Let me get that exact number for you here, friends. We've got, let's see, 1929, 1929, 29 times 0.75 equals. You're going to get it for $14.46. There's the budget pay, of course, as always, available to you on this. You've got the 30-day inspection period. Divided by 5. Less than $300. $289 for a 2.5 carat. That's zero credit check, zero interest payments, right? Hey, Monsiel Sony? Am I reading that right?
Yeah, Monty.
My eyesight's getting really bad. Muncie. Oh, hello, Muncie. Nice to have you out there. Appreciate you. Always encourage you guys to pop in and say hello. It's so nice. I appreciate that. Also, if you could, well, since I'm not rushed for time for once here. If I could respectfully ask that you, on your various social media platforms, give us the like or whatever it is that you are able to do on your various platforms there. TikTok, you know what to do. I think they have certain algorithms that kick us off if we say certain things. Are you familiar with this, DJ? I think that's the reason why we're having occasionally we'll get kind of punted out of there.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have an account with them?
With TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, of course you do. So yeah, and in that same vein, folks, I should say. So yeah, if you would like, share, all that good stuff on your various social media platforms. But what I should say is that also, if you ever do happen to lose this feed, or either the 10 a.m. or the 2 p.m. show that we're doing right now, Central Time, that is. What I would encourage you to do is go to shoplc.com. I do appreciate you. Oh, thank you so much. ShopLC is amazing. Yeah, that's you know what? That's very sweet of you to say, and I thank you so very much. Thank you. That really means a lot. But yeah, what I would say, just kind of complete that thought, folks, is you can always go to shoplc.com. We run it live. Like right now, we're live there, right? So it's just streaming. You can see the whole lineup of everything that we've done on the show up to this point. So you're going to have that all available at your fingertips, of or at least what is still available to you, assuming that not everything has sold out. Now, this is going to be one of the few occasions as well here. Now, we've shown you a couple pendants. I think we're on the last leg in terms of just having like one or two of them. But what I would say is with this particular show, we've actually had a little bit more, because it seems like a lot lately we've been getting those very much last in stock, which is kind of what we tend to do here. We do give you those opportunities, and that's a cool thing to do. But I think with a lot of these, you're going to be able to jump in and grab it for a change instead of it getting sold out on you, out from underneath you. So take advantage of those opportunities, and thank you all for being out there. Now, that said, I'm going to give you one last look at this ring, and then we'll get ready to move on. I'm just so tickled that we're not like having to rush, and I'm not run around like a chicken with my head cut off. But take a look at this. I'll give you one last look. Now, this was the Shop 14. We can kind of let stuff marinate a little bit, But it is a beauty. And again, that's one of the larger ones that we have in terms of rings. The largest one I'd say that we've shown you, at least that we have in studio, is the one that I did right before this. That's that decagon. But this one is, I'd say, second to that one is probably going to be the second largest one that we have here. Obviously, though, we do have that sort of piece de resistance piece that unfortunately I don't have here in studio, but we did have the matching pendant.
Monty is asking if we deliver our products in India.
I suspect so. I mean, that's where our parent company is at, Monty. I would assume anywhere in the world we can build to and ship to. I can't speak to what that would be. What I would encourage you to do, Monty, is if you have a pen or paper or your phone. Obviously, you're probably watching this on your phone, right? Let's go ahead and punch in this number. Can we put that number up behind us? Call a personal shopper. I don't see how in the world we wouldn't be able to, but I think that's going to be a personal shopper question. Let's go ahead and give them a ring. It's 888-835-2237. And they can, I imagine we can ship anywhere in the world. But I can't 100% give you the exact information on that. But they should absolutely be able to. And we're actually, that's our parent company is based out of there. So, I mean, I got to assume that shouldn't be an issue at all. So, yeah. So you're watching, Monty's watching, you're watching all the way from India?
I assume so.
Oh, well, I got to think so too. That's cool. I've never been. I want to go. I got to, oh, you're welcome. Yeah, my pleasure. The question mark, so the number, right?
Well, no, the question mark was because, the delay, so it's like she asked the question, didn't hear from us because of the delay.
Oh, okay, I apologize. Yeah. So hopefully that answers your question. Give that number a call. They should be able to clear it up. I don't see why not. I gotta assume, of course. So glad you're out there, though, and on the other side of the world. What time is it? What time would it be there now?
That's a good question.
Yeah, they're way ahead of us, I think.
Yeah, I think they're more than 12 hours.
Yeah, it's tomorrow there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the second, maybe. I don't know. Very cool. All right, so happy to have you be a part of the program. God bless you. All right, now let's move on to our next item. So that was Shop 14. Nice, big, nice, solid Art Deco look. Really love that design. Love the princess cuts on that as well too. And that's a really kind of a detailed and I think really cool look on that mounting. Nice wide band too. Gentlemen, I want to kind of, because we have just a little bit of extra time here, and we got 2 more items.
This is our last item.
Brother, we still got this ring.
What ring?
This bad boy. I hope we're going to be able to. Yeah. You thought you were getting out of here early, didn't you? I'm just kidding. You might yet. Do we have that one? I think I remember seeing it.
See over there? Does it have a Carter now?
No, sir.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Okay,
Gotcha.
and we're going to be able to do it because I like this one a lot. This is, for all intents and purposes, it could be very much a piece de resistance. I always like to, the really coolest pieces are the really kind of biggest, boldest, and I think some of the best pieces I like to call the piece de resistance. But this one's very nice too. Now this is going to be the matching pendant to go with that ring that we just showed you. So the ring was shop 14. This is shop 15, friends. It's going to give you, that's a very similar size here. So we're looking at probably about 2.5 carats, give or take a few points there on the center stone. It's very much, if you liked what I called the piece de resistance piece, this is going to be just a little smaller version kind of, but it also has those really pretty baguettes, or not baguettes, princess cuts. They're all sort of invisibly set there. And that's a nice precision. I like that look. That's also, kind of a little labor intensive as well. But a really nice, almost like kind of a scissor cut there on this sort of emerald octagon. Well, octagon. Yeah. Very pretty though. Look at that. Big center stone there. All right, now we're doing this for $17.39. That's going to also be in, that's going to be in 10 karat. Now the other one was in 14, but so it's going to be a little bit more affordable here too. $17.39. Also, let's do some math here since we have a little bit of time. Usually, I'll just kind of glaze over that a little bit towards the end, but let's let it breathe for just a minute here. 1739 times 0.75, because remember, you use the code LIVE25 at checkout. All right. But what I also want to say is, so that'll take it down to 1304. You've got the budget pay opportunity, so we could divide that 1304 by 5. That's going to give it $260. But what I do want to say is, if you're grabbing that one, go ahead and grab that matching ring to go with it if you can afford it. Look, I understand it's considered purchase to probably get both of those, but that's why the budget pay's there. It's there for you to take advantage of. The budget pay on this one, $260. I think it would have been probably the ring was a little bit more because they're talking about a little bit more in terms of the gold with all the band and everything. But that one I think was around, what was that? That one was $1,939. So that one was going to be less than $1,500. But you'll also get an opportunity if you get both of these to get an additional 10% off, because they're absolutely meant to go together. That is meant to go with the Shop 14. So if you can afford it, I would say utilize that budget pay. You can probably keep it. It'll probably end up being under $500 for both of those on budget pay. If you wanted to grab both of them, and you keep in mind you've always got the 30-day inspection period. Unless an item is on clearance, you risk very little in terms of because you get your money back. So great opportunity there. Really, really beautiful coupling there. And again, to get an additional 10% off on top, that's it's nice. It's a nice chunk. Okay, so let's take advantage of that. Now we're going to go to our final item here, and if we could maybe with after this final item, maybe we could just pull up the picture of the ring, the big one.
Yeah, we can.
Do you think we can do that?
Yeah, we can.
Because I feel I'd be remiss if I didn't, because that's the biggest piece that we have, and it's such a cool one. But I love that decagon, and I love this one too, though, friends, because this one, it's not going to be necessarily the largest. And we'll get a picture of it behind me here in just a second. This is not going to be the largest in terms of your center stone. It's got a nice cushion, though. It does appear to be pretty large. Total carat weight here, we're talking about a carat 50. All right, this one's going to be in the vermeil. But I got to say, this looks very, very expensive. This is that Linear Majesty ring. So if you want really, in terms of our vermeil pieces, I got to say, this is definitely one that looks wildly expensive. All right, you have channel set on these. I imagine those are going to probably be. Ooh, all right. This one's kind of flipping the script a little bit, and I love it. These are going to be lab-grown diamonds. The luxuriant. We did an event yesterday. It went fantastically on the TV side of things with lab-grown diamonds. Lab-grown diamonds. And so it's fresh in my mind. I can roll this off the tongue. Lab-grown diamonds, chemically, optically, visibly, exact same thing as earth mined diamonds. There's some differences, right? The time that it takes to create them. Obviously, Mother Nature takes several billion years. Lab creating, you can get it done sometimes within 3 months. All right, so there's that. It's not inexpensive, the process, and it's very much in demand now. They got about 40% of the diamond sales now are in lab-grown diamonds. Why? Because you get, in my personal opinion, you get what's called 2A diamonds, especially when you have the CVD, the chemical vapor deposition process used to make them, which means when you talk about a 2A diamond, there's only 2% of your earth mine diamonds that are 2A. All right, so what you get, in my personal opinion, and it's probably just true, and I found it to be the case, is even like, let's just say a grading on a lab grown versus an earth mine. If it's an SI and a lab grown, in my personal opinion, and this is probably universally true, but in my personal opinion, at least with the ones that I've had access to, and the Luxuriant, which is a fantastic company that do some of the best lab growns in the world, the inclusions are much less noticeable. Like even with the jeweler's loop, I have a difficult time with an SI, for example, even sussing out the inclusions, whereas with an earth mine diamond, I can a lot easier. So I like it. I'm very bullish on lab growns for that reason, and because again, chemically, optically, visibly, everything go down the line. There's not the environmental impact. Obviously, there's not. You don't have to worry about if some poor kid got hurt over it. With any kind of conflict-free zones and things like that. So there's all that just kind of goes out the window, right? So that's a beautiful thing as well. You don't have to worry about tributaries and things like that being polluted and tons and tons of earth moved. So that can be a positive thing as well. So really, it's all upside as far as I can tell. Now, do they maintain value as good as earth mine? No, they just don't. But that's okay. But you're getting the real deal, though, and they do maintain value big time. But just in terms of, if we're being full disclosure, it's not quite as much as earth mine, just because of the rarity factor, right? But all things being equal, folks, you get such clean, beautiful, and the cutting of them can be so much more. It can be so much easier done. Number one, because they're not having to sort of navigate around all these large feathers and inclusions and things like that. So you just really get so much bang for your buck here. And I'm very bullish on in terms of just, to use an investment analogy, very bullish on lab-grown diamonds. Say all that to say that. Now, can we scroll down just a little bit? I want to give them the center stone size, but I'm loving the fact that those are lab-grown. So those are big channel set, too, going down the center. Then you got 10 on the most hardest scale, so you got the strongest substance known to man, pretty much. You got a full carat on that cushion. I'm very pleased about that as well. Now, what else am I very pleased about? So you got a full carat, and then you got 50 points on the lab growns, okay? So, benchmark, beautiful cushion, AAA quality, nice thick band, so much so that's borderline. I'm almost tempted to say that could be a gent's ring. It almost fits my criteria. The low profile is not quite where it needs to be, but otherwise I'd say that would make a cool gent's ring. I think we have it in a size 9. Choose your own. Wouldn't be mad at you, fellas. But wide band, low profile. That's kind of my criteria. It's my goofy criteria, but I think it makes sense then, right? For a gent's ring, wide band, relatively low profile. Yeah. So it could work, actually. I digress. Now, benchmark size, real lab grown, but real diamonds, right? The real deal. 18 karat vermeil. We're doing it for $329. $329 for that. Use the code LIVE25, and that $329 will magically, wait for it, come down to $230. 5 budget pays. Let's divide that 230 by 5. You can get this home for less than $50. $46.06 gets that ring home. That ring should be a lot more expensive. A, because you've got the lab-grown diamonds. So basically you've got the real diamonds. B, you've got the full carat. C, you've got a very labor-intensive piece because that channel setting, you got the double row at the north and south. It really is a full, very expensive-looking piece. And a top gem world-class quality Turkizite there too. That might be one of the best deals that we have there in terms of on the vermeil end of things. That might be one of the better deals that we've shown you. Now, we've shown you some amazing ones here, folks. With the remaining 3 minutes that we have, that's a fantastic opportunity there. That one's shop 16. I love that. I love that ring. In fact, I thought that was in 10 karat or 14 karat, just because the fullness and the detail in that mounting there. We've got enough of those to go around. I think that's a debut item. I think we have 40. We've still got 38 of those. So that's probably a debut. I imagine somebody just found it online, maybe bought 2 of them, but that's a debut for all intents and purposes. I think that'll sell out relatively quickly if they do it for the same price on the TV side of things. And remember, we're guaranteed pretty much the lowest prices that things have ever been or will be, whether they've been shown here, the website, or TV. This is really kind of the premier way to shop. TV, a lot of times during the live presentations, we'll do really low stuff too. So, but for the most part, with a few exceptions, you're going to get your best shopping here. Now, folks, unfortunately, with this last ring, I don't have this in studio, but this would be what I would normally call the pièce de résistance. It's the largest stone that we had. It's going to be roughly, you're basically, and just to give you an idea of scale, this is what you're kind of, this is the companion piece. So it's going to be, give or take, the same. This is a 5 carat. So essentially you're going to be getting that look, if that helps you, all right, with this beautiful band. Sorry about the fingerprint on there, but that's kind of the look that you're going to be getting, because this is going to be a 5 carat. Actually, could we scroll down? I'll get the exact specs for them because I don't want to mislead anybody. We're doing this ring for $31.49 or $31.59, folks, by the way, which is incredibly low. Yeah, it's a 5 carat 8, so it's virtually the same profile. You do have a little bit more in the diamonds than you would on the pendant, just because you're going to kind of have that other half, right? It's going to be represented, the other half of this portion, right? Now, that said, folks, we're doing it for $31.59. We did this for around the same price. It is absolutely one of the largest ones that we have in our entire inventory. It's certainly the largest one that we're featuring here for you today. And I can tell you right now, you're never going to see that for this price as low again. So I'm going to get you the price, and then I've got to say goodbye. But folks, I really appreciate you out there. And Monty, I appreciate you being out there, and everybody who's chimed in. Thank y'all so much for watching. And even if you didn't buy anything in the closing moments, if you would, share us on your respective social media platforms, I really appreciate that as well. I should note that we have 4 reviews on this ring, and they're all 5 stars. It's a huge value. It's a beautiful ring. It's a classic look. And after you use the code LIVE25, that's going to come down to $23.69. You also will get an additional 10% off, because if you can grab that pendant and you can afford to do that, you're going to get that additional 10% off. And I will say, it's going to you probably could get that and the pendant. And I don't think I'm going out too much of a limb here. If you utilize the budget pay, you probably get both of those for under $1,000, because you're going to get Live 25 and you're going to get the 10% off, because you'll be bundling those. So call the personal shopper on that. We only have, I think, one of this ring, but one very lucky person. And if it is showing that we have 2 of them available, actually. So we have a 7 and a 10. Call the personal shopper is best bet. I got to say goodbye, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to give a little quick plug. I'm going to be on the TV side of things tomorrow, technically Tuesday morning, with Deanna, my partner in crime there, from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So I hope you'll watch that. We're going to have some really, really amazing stuff. I got to look at the stuff that we've been working on for that show, just kind of a prelim look. Some fantastic deals. Most everything's going to be under 50. We'll have free shipping that day too. So I want to say goodbye to everybody. God bless you. Take good care of yourselves and take advantage of these deals. We're going to give you at least 48 hours now, so we're stretching the time out. But grab that ring we just finished on. DJ, wonderful job. We love y'all out there, and I will see you on Tuesday, 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Cheers. Good beans. I like this gents ring too. Good look. How are you? Do you need anything on my end, or are we all square here? Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you.
Oh, you know what? Real quick.